Hello and welcome to Drawing with Mr. Wood. Today I'm going to show you how to shade 3D shapes. Our learning intention is to learn how to shade shapes to make them look three-dimensional. Now if you want to know how to draw 3D shapes first, I would recommend watching one of my videos on either 1-point or 2-point perspective. Now shading really helps to make them look 3D and pop out the page. So what you need for that is some colours obviously. I quite like using a ruler just to get nice crisp edges. The rubber comes in handy now and again. Don't need my pencils so much, but I do need to make sure my pencils and my colours are sharp. So I would start by doing that. So when it comes to shading, you need to think about where the light is. The light will light up some faces of your shape and it will throw some faces of your shape into darkness. So the first thing you need to consider is what light source you've got. Now most light sources come from above, so if it's the sun or if it's a light on the roof. I'm going to have the light coming from here, so this is my light. Okay. Now that'll mean some of these faces that we're going to colour will hardly be coloured at all. They'll be really lit up by the light, and some are going to be really dark and we're going to have to press quite hard when we're doing that. So it is good to practice first of all different shading techniques. So take a pencil, a colour pencil, and on a scrap bit of paper you want to practice different levels of shading. So when I'm shading, I like to hold the pencil horizontal really with the page, so I'm not doing it up and down the way like a writing pencil. I'm keeping the edge of the pencil really close to the paper. And when I'm practicing shading, I start off really light, so hardly touching the page at all, and then as I go on I'm pushing a wee bit harder, so just put a wee bit more force on that pencil until I get near the end, and at that point it's getting really, really dark. Okay. And let's try it again. So starting off really light, hardly touching the page. Getting darker. As I'm getting darker, I'm lifting the pencil a wee bit so I can apply a bit more pressure, and really dark. I'll do it one more time. Really light at the beginning. Oh, trying to get a gradual blend into the different colours. And that is tricky, it takes a lot of practice. You can go back over it if you want to just blend those transitions a wee bit better. But that's what we're doing. So, when you're thinking about different levels of shading, that's a wee bit dark at the beginning now. We've kind of got a 1, which is really light. We've got a sort of 2 in the middle there, and a 3, which is really dark. And the same here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to use those terms when we're shading our shapes. Okay, so if my light is coming from the top right hand of the page here, this face here is going to be really light. It's going to capture a lot of that light. Now this face here is completely away from it, so it's going to be really dark. And this one is probably going to be in the middle. So let's choose red for this one. I'm going to start with my darkest, and I think this one's going to be the darkest because my light's over here and it's in the shadow. So I'm going to do a number 3 for this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my ruler on the edge of that shape, and that allows me to, it's like a backstop that will stop the pencil going too far. The reason I start with the darkest is it can always, I've got a good idea of what the lighter ones will be like, and I can always make this darker if I need be. I'm going to turn it over and put the ruler on this edge. Okay. Watch you don't put a piece, the edge of a piece of paper underneath where you get a line like that. Anyway. Right, so said this was going to be my number 3, so it's my darkest. I can always go back over it if I want to make it darker. This one's going to be my number 2. It's going to get a wee bit of light, it's going to creep under there, but it's not going to be as dark. So I'll try and do it the same way. How do I do that? This way probably. So I'm not pressing as hard on this one. I still want to show that it's red. There we go. And my final face, the one that's going to capture most of the light, is going to be this one here. So I'm hardly going to press at all when I'm colouring this one in. This way, that'll be easier for me to get round. It's really light. It's mostly white because it's getting all of the light. There we go. At this stage, you can go back over some of the darker ones to show the contrast. I'm going to make this a wee bit darker because even though it's the sort of middle one, it's still not going to get a lot of light being underneath there. It's the same with our one-dimensional, our one-point perspective shapes. The only one that's tricky is a cylinder. I'm going to use my green again. So once again, I'm going to make this a sort of in between each shade here. Now to show a cylinder's round, the light sort of curves its way around the shape. So we have a sort of gradient, we have a dark edge, and we sort of blend in between. So with this cylinder, because the light's coming above, I'm going to do more of the dark bit at the bottom, and I'm blending until I get to that bit where the light is starting to hit. Okay, and same here, I'm going to do a wee bit dark just to show that it's round, and then we're going to blend in to our lighter area in the middle there. So that helps it look round, where we've got sort of darker edges that blend into lighter spaces. Okay.